The best episode of Hetalia is, without a doubt, episode 15 of season 5, A bientôt, Until We Meet Again. It has that perfect mix of history, comedy, immortal national personification angst, and a generally uplifting message that exemplifies the best of Hetalia. A bientôt, Until We Meet Again focuses on two characters, Lisa, an American tourist on Mont Saint-Michel, and France, everyone's favorite frivolous anthropomorphic nation. It's one of the few episodes where the focus is on a normal human, Lisa, rather than one of the countries. Lisa narrates, talking excitedly about how she went on a trip to France by herself in the spring when she was 19. Lisa is taking pictures and notices France, taking a picture of him thinking he's just some random cute French guy. France notices this and runs over to her, looking at her intently in a way that doesn't reflect his normal flirtiness. It's not clear at this point why that would be, why he would be staring at her. And Lisa apologizes, thinking he's mad that she took his picture without asking. France himself apologizes for rushing over and scaring her. After giving her one more attentive look, he offers her a tour, which she accepts. On the tour, Lisa introduces herself and questions France on who he is, which is a totally reasonable thing for her to do. France introduces himself as France, which Lisa finds weird, but the tour continues nonetheless. It's one of the few times in the series where normal humans interact with countries unknowingly and are suspicious of them. The nations are super weird, something anyone who has seen Hetalia knows, so it's funny for Lisa to totally pick up on how strange France is. That said, Lisa and France's back and forth is my favorite part of the episode. After the initial meeting and introduction, France talks of the 100 Years' War and tells the story of Joan of Arc, which Lisa has heard of. She gets to enjoy France's retelling of events, and the viewer gets to as well. Most of the time in Hetalia, the countries don't explain the history they lived through and how they felt about it. Instead, we actually get to see it happening to them in a somewhat comedic way. But here, France actually tells his side of the story and his admiration for Joan of Arc in a way that feels personal and touching. France is absolutely delighted when Lisa says she knows about Joan of Arc, which Lisa finds a little odd. A lot of people have heard of Joan of Arc after all. But after hearing about all Joan's accomplishments, Lisa asks France if she remembered right that Joan was burnt at the stake. France confirms that, telling her how she died on May 30th, 1431. But then he talks about how he hopes that all the people who were tossed about by history get to be reborn into a happy, normal, peaceful life, that they will get to love and be loved. France adds that when he first saw Lisa, he thought she was a miracle. He tells her to be happy this time, but then says it seems as if his wish has already come true. He vanishes before Lisa can question what he just said. Now, it's not particularly subtle here at the end that Lisa is supposed to be a reincarnation of Joan of Arc. I mean, it cuts directly between her and a statue of Joan of Arc right after France disappears. But it's rare for Hetalia to ever touch on one pretty obvious and sad fact of a show about the immortal nations of history. All the countries have gone through a lot and must have had historical figures they really cared about die, sometimes in tragic ways. The episode ends on a lighter note, with Lisa telling the story to her mom at a cafe back in America, with America the country overhearing and thinking France is a total playboy for hanging out with Lisa like this. Now, the first time watching, I didn't really expect Lisa to be a reincarnation of Joan of Arc, but when you look back through the episode, it's abundantly clear that was meant to happen with every choice made here. France's weird staring at Lisa, that looking back at it, looks like he's seeing someone he thought died about 5.5 centuries ago. How Joan looks just like Lisa in France's flashback, his excitement that she actually knows about Joan of Arc, his parting remark that he hopes she's happy this time. The most subtle clue, however, is the first clue we receive, which you don't even know is a clue. Remember that the first thing Lisa tells us in her opening narration is that when she was 19, she visited France in the spring. A girl, 19, in France in the spring. It was Joan of Arc, age 19, who died in Normandy, May 30th, springtime. It's the little choices like these, combined with a human's perspective on interacting with a country and talking about how countries like to think about their fallen heroes, with that sprinkle of classic Hetalia humor that make this episode the best to me. No episode has a focus on human-country relations as much as this one. Another Season 5 episode features mainly a human, but it's more a reflection on the problems with immortality and has more focus on a relationship between humans than the relationship between countries and humans. Also, this episode ends on a happy note. The Season 6 episode Davy is one of my favorites too, and it deals with the passing of time and death, but it ends on such a depressing note. This episode deals with those same themes, but it's able to look beyond the sadness of them with hope that, hey, maybe in their next life, people like Joan get to be happy, that things work out in the end. That hope, on top of everything else, puts this episode above all the others. A bientôt, Until We Meet Again is the best. Hey there, it's Ania here, and there are a lot more of you than there were last time I made a video. I'm still sort of reeling from the fact that one of my videos has more than 20,000 views, particularly the Hetalia one, since I thought the fandom was mostly dormant, but wow, I am very glad to see it's not. So welcome everyone! Thank you very much for subscribing. As for this video, what do you all think the best episode of Hetalia is, and why? Leave a comment down below telling me why my pick is wrong. Also, are there any other shows you think I should analyze the best episode of? I've linked my anime list in the description so you can see what shows I've watched. Also, if you like Hetalia and this video, and you haven't seen my general review/analysis, Hetalia is Weirdly Good, go watch that. You'll definitely like it. If you think Joan of Arc is cool and like talking about female characters, check out my video on Prince of Stride and its female lead. If you like sports anime, check out my 2 videos on Haikyuu and its characters. Until next time!